Welcome to another episode of Systematic Geekology. This is a space where we seek to create and cultivate healthy conversations between those things we geek out on and the philosophical and theological questions that often arise out of our fandoms. Like, what does it mean to be human? What makes a hero? What makes a villain? How do the stories and narratives we geek out on shape how we live in the world? We are your priest to the geeks. We aren't all ordained, but we see ourselves as mediators at the intersection of geek culture and going deeper in our faith. We don't always have to agree, but we do respect each other, and we see everyone as a beloved child of God. Everyone geeks out on something, so come geek out with us and enjoy the show.
You're listening to an Anazal Ministries podcast.
Ooh, as Optimus Prime said, freedom is the right of all sentient beings. And as Megatron said, peace through tyranny. Yeah, which one would you choose? Which one would you follow? I kind of have a feeling what I'm going to do. Welcome, geekologists. Welcome to another episode of Systematic Geekology. And you're listening to the podcast that is more than meets the eye, because we're not only just a podcast, but we're also on YouTube. So hop on over there, smash that like button. Let us know that you're there. Chime in the comments. We're really excited about this episode. This episode is a part of our Faces Behind Us series, which we're exploring, in our intro. You hear my voice. That's me, Will Rose. Ask the question, what makes a hero? What makes a villain? And often it's the people that raise them, guide them, lead them, mentor them, coach them, the faces behind them that shapes these heroes and villains. And we're exploring that in this series. And today we're going to explore the Transformers, Optimus Prime and Megatron. No person is an island. We're not alone by ourselves. We're surrounded by people who guide us and lead us and shape us who we are. And they are no different. These fictional figures are no different. And I'm here with some of my favorite geekologists, TJ and Keno. Welcome back, Keno. Glad you're part of this episode.
And listen, glad to be back. This is going to be exciting. Gosh. Let me say this real quick before we start anything.
Yeah.
Funny enough, before you all reached out to me, I was rewatching the first gen of Transformers on Tubi. I was falling asleep to it. I was just falling asleep to it. I started off with the movie first.
Oh, the 86 movie? The 1986? Yeah, fantastic.
And then I was like, so I'm ready. I'm ready for the day.
So you were watching that, and all of a sudden you got a call. There was the spirit moved, and you got a text message that said, "Keno, you want to be part of Transformers episode?" And you were like, "Yeah, yes. In fact, I'm ready. I've been watching." It's
crazy how that happens.
It's crazy how that happens. I know. Well, glad to be part of this, and I'm really liking this series about exploring these characters in our fandoms and what made them who they are, and who was behind them and guiding and lead them. And I'm excited about this one too. But as always, let's start out with what we're geeking out on. Keno, what do you you're watching the original cartoon to Transformers, but what else are you geeking out on out there? What are you geeking out on?
So two things. One, I just started this new anime called, and I'm pulling it up because I don't remember the name of it because I just watched the first episode. Sentenced to be a Hero.
It's good.
I was like, this is good. I'm eating it up.
All right.
I'm eating it up. And also I'm on The Sims. I'm still on my Sims.
Nice.
And they just did a new update. So all my mods are just horrible. Just the system crashed. I gotta just save everything and just wait till they give updates.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, because that was like a big thing. Didn't they just update this? Yeah.
Yeah, to introduce this new expansion pack they got with the legacy and family hierarchy and castles and all that stuff. So
it messed a lot of people up.
Oh, listen, I don't want to just get it, but this is what I do. Like literally, I have one guy. I made him immortal, so he has 5 generations. Yes, he has 5 generations. And I'm like, y'all are messing up everything that I have going on now. So I hate.
There's a parable on that somewhere that'll preach. There's a certain illustration about things you build and people tear down.
Yeah.
I think that would work. TJ, what are you geeking out on, buddy?
I can't really say Lost anymore.
Okay.
So nothing. I'm like,
you're in a void,
limbo, I guess.
You're in limbo.
I'm trying to like get back into my regular nerd stuff. You know, like I'm trying to catch back up to the Fallout show, which I fell behind on because I was watching Lost, and I'm trying to catch back up with Freerun, which I fell behind on because I've been watching Lost, and Jujutsu Kaisen because I was watching Lost.
Yeah,
so good.
I grieved a while after Lost wrapped up and finished. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? What's going to happen? You know, that kind of stuff. When a series you really beloved comes to an end, there's a grieving period. And the stages of grief along with that. Keno, were you ever watched the TV show Lost? Were you, was ever a part of your fandom or watch history? No. All right.
I mean, I know a little bit of it, but no, that's not. I can go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Because I'm rewatching The Mentalist now.
Okay, cool.
Also good.
So, yeah.
You should watch Lost.
Yeah, forewarned. You watch that first pilot of Lost, you're going to lose about a month of your time because you're going to be obsessed and want to keep watching. So.
Is it like The Walking Dead? Like that? Because The Walking Dead, to me, the only reason I said it is because I wanted to know how did the zombies get here. That's all I really wanted to know.
You'll get into that point where you're like, okay, what's up with the island?
Okay,
it's like, okay, well, like why did the plane crash? It'll get you there.
It'll wrap around. It'll share. It doesn't answer all questions, but it answers a lot. It answers a lot. It's not like Walking Dead where you never find out.
You're right. Right. Which was, I was like, okay. Yep. But the storyline got interesting, so I didn't care about why I started. I was like, you know what? I just want Rick to win, just to get everybody.
I know. That's right. That's legit. Oh, I love it. I'm geeking out on college basketball these days. People know that I live in Chapel Hill and that I'm a huge UNC fan, you know, and I know that probably sports cred, there's people who really love me and people that hate me because of that. But I'm going to humble brag and say I have some tickets to a UNC Duke game on Saturday night. And I'm very nervous. By the time you're listening to this, we'll know the outcome of this game probably. But for me, I'm excited. And even if Duke wins, I'm excited to see Boozer live on the court and see what the hype is with this guy who's probably the number one draft pick. But I think Caleb Wilson should be up there 1, 2, or 3 pick in the draft, and he's a hustler. So I can't wait. That's what I'm geeking out on right now. And we'll do an episode on YouTube about geeking out on sports geeks. We'll do that in the near future, maybe before March Madness. We'll see what happens, but we'll bring our sports fans on and have a roundtable geeking out on sports. Yeah. So that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I almost went to Duke?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
it was up there for me.
I tell people I pull for Duke academics. I pull for Duke research. I pull for like the Duke Hospital, their work in the sciences and research. I pull for whatever Duke is studying and research to better the world. I pull for that. Does not mean I need to pull for their basketball team.
Correct.
I pull for their scientists and their heart doctors in their hospital. I don't pull for their basketball team.
I always say when people ask, are you a Carolina Duke fan? My response is, we don't worship devils in this house.
That's right.
Right. There's a reason the sky is Carolina blue. God made it. Right. I love it. I could talk about that all day. We'll do that on another episode soon. In the meantime, rate and review our show wherever you get your podcast. It really helps us get noticed out in the world, in the podcast game. I know there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of great podcasts. We're not the only one in town, but to rate and review and share with a friend, that would be awesome. We want to thank our financial supporters. Let's thank Austin Nance. Thanks, buddy. We really appreciate you supporting the show and being a financial supporter. You can get your own shout out if you become an official member of Systematic Geekology on our website in the description in the show notes. You can go down there, click on it. You can see all of our playlists. You can see our merch. You become any kind of member. You can become a member for free just to get our extra content. A little bit later on, we're going to ask an extra question, a bonus question with this episode. And then if you're a member, a supporter, you can go over there and find out how we answer that question. So we'll lure you with a question, and then you got to become a member to find out how we answer it. We'll do that a little bit later on. Well, here we go. New episode. Let's do it, y'all. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So the faces behind us, Transformers. Yes. What a big IP. How many movies did they make? They made 7 live action movies.
Yeah.
With this.
7?
There's 7. There are 7 Transformer movies. If you count Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Why would you not count Bumblebee? And then it started in the 80s with toys, and they're like, we got to sell more toys, so let's make a cartoon about it. And then that went on for a while, and then they made a movie, an animated movie, which is a classic that Keno watches and falls asleep to, and I sometimes do as well. And man, the music and the soundtrack for that, a lot of bangers on that one. It is so good. There's a lot of lasers. There's a lot of screaming. There's a lot of action. Oh, wow, that movie. But it's got a long history of production since the 80s. It's been around a long, long time. And so I'm curious about our history with the IP. Keno, we'll start with you, buddy. What's your history with this IP? How did you first discover it? What was your first introduction? And then where you are now?
Listen, I'm a child. I'm a baby, 80s baby. So I remember watching it live every week, begging my mother to buy me Optimus Prime, Bumblebee. I did get Optimus. I got Bumblebee, but I didn't get Megatron. I don't know why she didn't give me Megatron, but that's
because it's a gun. Because it's a gun.
Yeah. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. Yeah. So good.
but so my history is the first gen, and watching those just iconic battles and looking back now, I can see how they tried to push the narrative. But as a kid, you didn't care about any of that stuff except for when they killed Optimus in the movie. And then did not
animated
replace
86
him.
movie. 86 animated.
Yes. They did not replace him until like season 3 or season 4 in the series. I'm like, how dare you? So that shocked my soul, because I was like, he's not coming back. And then you was like, he's gonna come back. He's a cartoon character. No, not when you watch the cartoon. He didn't come back for a while.
Yeah, and it started a trend too. Like Michael Bay killed him once. He died in Transformers 1 for a little bit. Now they just kill him for fun, and he comes back in the same movie.
In the same movie.
Yeah.
Keno, did you like when those first movies started coming out in like 2007, being like the original Transformer, watching the cartoons and stuff? Were you there like opening night with these movies?
Oh,
and
yes.
things too?
Oh, yes. I own the DVDs. So no, I even though some of them did suck and did not make any sense, I still supported and went to go see these movies.
Yeah, that's how I'm a Star Wars. That's exactly. I'm going to be there no matter what. No matter how I have problems with it or whatever, I'm there. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to. It's my baby.
I've seen all the movies. I have a love-hate relationship with the movies because it don't.
Sure.
Some of the stuff don't make sense.
Right.
How they did the history and the drawing. I'm like, no, this is not. But I also have to point out, though, I did not like, how they tried to revamp the cartoon, and I was not a fan of Beast Wars.
Sure.
I was
you didn't like Beast Wars?
I did not like
it. It might be ugly, but dinosaurs rock.
They do. They do. But that was my thing, though. That wasn't my thing. That's just me.
I know we're not going to cover it a lot, but y'all know the Transformers Hall of Fame. That's a thing, right?
No.
So it's a Hasbro thing where they, every few years they'll induct, a couple of Transformers and like people who contribute to Transformers heavily into the Transformers Hall of Fame. Of course, the first 5 Transformers were Optimus Prime,
yes,
Megatron, yes, Bumblebee, and Starscream. Okay. And guess who number 5 was?
I don't know.
Dinobot.
Dinobot? Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Beast Wars Dinobot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Beast Wars Dinobot? Not Gen 1 Dinobot?
No, it's Beast Wars. Beast Wars Dinobot. They're like, yep, Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Hall of Fame first class.
Not the radio. Not what's the radio that turned into a jukebox and then tape cassette came out.
Soundwave.
Soundwave.
Not Soundwave.
On.
Starscream made it first class. Soundwave didn't. Not Barricade. Not Ironhide.
Huh.
Dinobot.
Isn't
that nuts?
I did not know there was a Hall of Fame. I'm sitting there.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, look that up.
Hey, podcast fam. Want to stay even more connected with the show? We've got you covered. Check us out on Instagram and Blue Sky, where we're posting exclusive content and bonus videos and fun updates that you won't get anywhere else. From sneak previews of upcoming episodes to bonus content, our social accounts are the best way to keep the conversation going. Plus, it's a great spot for you to interact with other listeners and share your thoughts. We love hearing from you. When you follow us, it helps us grow and continue bringing you the content that you love. Whether it's a funny poll, a quick clip from today's episodes, or just random thoughts, you'll feel more plugged into everything we're doing. So go ahead and hit that follow button on Instagram and Blue Sky. It's one more way to be a part of the show and keep the good vibes flowing. Thanks for being a part of the family, and we can't wait to see you there.
Look at that. Well, TJ, what's your history with the IP? So you were born a little after Keno and I, as Keno and I are 80 babies. So anyway, you were a little later. What was your first history with this and your first introduction? What was the first thing?
I was born 15 years after Transformers.
Yeah, I believe it. Yep. Okay.
For me, Transformers was just kind of around growing up. Like it'd be on TV sometimes, Saturday morning. I'm not paying. When I was little, I was outside a lot. I like to run.
Good.
I grew out of that, thankfully.
Good parents. Good parenting.
Yeah. But so like I was familiar. Some of my friends had the Transformers. Eventually, I started getting Transformers for Christmas. Before I ever watched the movies, I remember I had I had an Optimus Prime, of course. I had a Primus Transformer, which, if you know, is Cybertron, like the planet.
Yeah.
That's Primus. And it was huge. Yes. It was just the planet Cybertron, and it turned into a whole Transformer. It was awesome.
Really? Where did the planet turn into? What, just a
it's
a
guy, yeah. His name's Primus. like the rest of them. That's a car. No, it's a dude. It's a robot.
There's only one girl out there. We'll talk about her later.
Yeah. There's two. There's two, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's RC and Alita 1. And they look extremely similar, but they're not the same character.
Right.
But yeah, for me, it was really the toys. And then it wasn't until like high school, I was hanging out with a friend, just at his house. I was staying for the weekend, and he was super, super into like G1, 80s Transformers cartoon. So we just ended up watching a lot of it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. And of course, by that point, I had seen Transformers, Michael Bay Transformers 1 and Revenge of the Fallen and Dark Side of the Moon and Age of Extinction, Last Night. Yep. So, I was hooked already, but I had never really experienced G1 until then. Nice. And that's all the difference.
That's a good story.
It really did and does makes a difference.
And then I watched Beast Wars a few years ago, and I think Beast Wars is awesome. I think it looks horrendous. Like genuinely awful.
Yes.
Beast Wars cartoon or Rise of the Beast movie? You're talking about the cartoon.
No, cartoon.
Gotcha.
Because I tried to watch it because I remember Josh told me to go and watch it. I gave it a few tries.
Okay.
I was
it's really rough.
It is.
But I love dinosaurs. So
I do too. Those are great stories. I am, the first toy came out, in the 80s, like 83, 84. I was a 10, 11-year-old around that time. And my brother's a little bit younger. I remember he got the toys. I was mainly in the Star Wars, starting to get pre-Team teen pre-puberty, and I was like, do I really want to do these? Do I want to want to skateboard and surf more than I want to play with toys? A little bit of both in between. I was a tweener. And then, but my brother ended up getting some of the toys. And like, they were pretty cool that you can transform these, things into robots, and who doesn't like robots? And remember the cartoon a little bit, but it wasn't right in my wheelhouse of the IP. I was a big Star Wars guy then and other things, comic books. But I guess they were I understood their lore within like the fandom of like childhood stuff and toys and cartoons, but it wasn't kind of the resurgence of the movie in 2007 when we were like, we're going to go see this movie opening night. How cool is this? Michael Bay. It looks really cool. The trailer looks cool. And we went and saw this movie, and we absolutely adored it. I remember at one point there's some street fight road race with Smashing Pumpkins playing in the background, and the guitar was just like riff was just like killing it while they're going down the road. And my wife turns to me and was just whispers, "This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life." and I was like, hell yeah, it is. And we just had that bonding moment. Like, we are really geeking out hard at this moment when that guitar started riffing and they're just going down the road. We're like, this is the coolest thing we've ever seen. So that movie made an impact. And then we were there for a few other movies, and then it's just kind of been around. I definitely, because of, and we'll talk about this a little. Maybe TJ, throw up that slide of the creators, or maybe the Daniel Warren Johnson comic. So you kind of see the like Gen 1, and you see like the movie version here on YouTube, and then you see the cover to Daniel Warren Johnson's Transformers reboot a couple years ago. And Daniel Warren Johnson was one of my favorite comic book creators today. He's both as an artist and a writer, and sometimes both. So he did the writing and the drawing on this Transformer reboot from Image Comics and this. And I was right there. I had to buy issue 1 and kind of got into it, and I love it. So I'm kind of back into reading Transformers because of Daniel Warren Johnson and keeping up with the lore. And then him in an interview talking about the influence of the first animated movie in 1986 had on him, and how it was just on repeat for him, and shaped how he creates comics and stories. That was kind of a face behind him, kind of influenced him and how he creates and curates comics. And so I went back and watched it myself, and it is right there. If I need something to watch, background music, or fall asleep to, I'll put it on and watch it. So there you go, guys. Transformers, huge fandom. I love it when I go to a Comic-Con or Islands of Adventure, and there's got somebody cosplayed as a literal Transformer there, and they always, there's always the Megatrons and the Optimus Primes and all that stuff are walking around Comic-Con or Islands of Adventure, and everyone's getting their picture taken because it's just an incredible sight. It makes you think, like, if these things were really on Earth, we'd be like, whoa, blown away by it. So super cool. That's our experience there. And so when we talk about the characters, TJ, share a little bit about, so you have Optimus Prime. He's the leader of the Autobots. Megatron is the leader of the Decepticons. And so whoever all these Autobots, Decepticons, look up to them. They're the face behind them and directing and guiding them in their leadership and their goals and who they want to be or take over in the world. But I guess there's some history there of who shaped them, who were before them. I don't know that lore. TJ, Keno, kick it off. What are some of the lore and back lore of the faces behind Optimus Prime and Megatron?
So that's one of the reasons that this, that Transformers is what it is because it's so much deeper than like the surface level. Originally, it was just like an American import of a Gundam series. They wanted Gundam for Americans. Optimus Prime was like this design on the left was supposed to be a piloted suit.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
And then the American Hasbro was like, no, not for us.
We can't sell that.
Not for us. That's just a robot that turns into a truck.
Because
it's
a little boy or anybody like a truck and a robot, and they could be the same in one and transport to the other. It's genius.
Coolest concept of all time. But it's so much deeper than that because not only do they create the characters as these like massive focal points in the series, in the universe, as Transformers aged, they kind of built on that more and more and more, and it goes through kind of a lot. You have to watch kind of a lot of Transformers to really understand what motivates Optimus and what motivates Megatron, because Optimus at first is just like hailed as this scion of leadership and nobility and honor, and it's just like, yeah, that's just him. He's just like that. He's been like that forever, which is pretty much true. But he does still have his influences, like Alpha Trion.
Trion is the one I know.
Alpha Trion, the oldest Transformer, one of the oldest Transformers, one of the original 13 in universe. He's one of the 13 who were like hand built by Primus, who's like the Transformers god. And he's just the only one left. He's the only one that lasted to like the modern era. For Optimus, Alpha Trion is always there as like an advisor. You know, he is the wisest Transformer because of his immense age, and that's the role he likes to fill. I was actually super surprised seeing him in like the Bayverse. I didn't expect that kind of bag pull from Michael Bay, but he brought it out. He did bring it out. There's a couple others that are really, really interesting. Sentinel Prime. If you've seen Transformers 1 to you, or if you've seen Dark Side of the Moon, whichever one that, you know, the Bayverse one that he's in. It's hard to keep them organized in my head, but Sentinel Prime originally was just like one of the primes, like one of Optimus's ancestors, sort of in the same dynasty. But ever since then, every story has used him as like an antagonist. Like Sentinel Prime, oh yeah, that guy sucks. He betrayed everyone.
Ooh, okay.
Still a super cool character, but he's one of those ones where it's a little different. He was once noble, he fell from grace, and Optimus usually has to see him as an obstacle to be overcome, which is still incredibly significant in his growth. Bumblebee, of course. Yeah, he's Bumblebee. Alita 1, we'll talk about her in a second. The actual team that has made, I think, the biggest impact for Transformers popularity, Michael Bay, of course. Transformers wouldn't be what it is without the Bay movies. As unfortunate as some of them might be, it's rough. It's rough. Bod Budiansky is the original author of like the first Transformer comic books. He also did some work on Ghost Rider, like the early Ghost Rider stuff. Super cool. But without him, obviously, same deal, right? Like the G1 still would have happened, but the comic books, they had a lot. It's where a lot of this info comes from. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Peter Cullen.
Peter. Oh my gosh.
Peter Cullen. Who else but Peter Cullen? A voice actor.
For those who don't know, who's Peter Cullen? Who's Peter Cullen? For those who don't know,
is Optimus Prime.
It is.
He is Optimus Prime.
He is.
Okay. He's also Mario.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's Mario.
What? He's Mario. Okay.
Yep, he's also Mario. He's also Parthenax in Skyrim, like the good dragon at the end of Skyrim.
Yeah.
He's got range, but he's mostly Optimus Prime.
Yeah. And to get his voice back from the 80s back to the movie in 2007 was huge.
It was incredible. It was a huge thing.
He's the voice behind us. He's the voice behind these.
The voice behind us is Peter Cullen. And the craziest thing is, I think Transformers 1, the animated Transformers 1, that is its full title, 2023, I think.
Yep.
Is the single time where the Optimus Prime voice actor was not Peter Cullen and was not trying to sound like Peter Cullen.
And it's Thor. Thor did it,
Thor.
Right? It's Hemsworth.
It's Chris Hemsworth
was,
And he does a really good job, but the entire movie, I'm sitting there thinking, It's not Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
But it's a prequel. Like one's a prequel and it leads up to how he becomes Prime.
Yes.
Correct.
So you can kind of see where his voice changes to become when he hits puberty. And
it does get a little deeper when he gets his transformation cog. But
I think that would be my only critique about that movie. It's I think my mind just went blank.
It's not Peter Cullen.
No, it's not. And that was like I like the origin story. I really do like the origin story. How they teased it out, especially being a child of the '80s and knowing how Alphatron and all this other stuff. But the way they took it into a different narrative and saying that Megatron and Optimus were friends, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just sit here and just watch this.
It's kind of like, all right, we're going to draw an analogy. We're not going to get too deep yet, to get too biblical. We got a couple pastors on here. Pharaoh and Moses, right? Like, we had the Pharaoh and Moses being friends or brothers, and eventually they part ways, needless to say. So you can kind of see that in them being on the same team, and then there's that divide and split, and then you have the war later on. The prequel, and talk about the faces behind us, and the prequel, what makes them who they are. There's something to be said about, we're going to eventually talk, do some prequels in Systematic Geekology as well, but you have the main story, you're trying to sell story, you're trying to sell toys, then you have a cartoon, then you have comics, and you're like, we got to build the world, we got to world build this a little bit, not just a truck that turns into a robot, or a robot that turns into a gun or starship, or airplane, but what's the story behind this mythology behind it? I think the Marvel comics did that, the cartoon, the movies, those things. So I think that's important to fill out these things. So, I love that.
Like, they are also the faces behind each other. Now, you think good versus evil, white and black, yin and yang. Megatron and Optimus Prime are there.
Right,
they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
They are the same. They are two sides of a coin, and they bounce off of each other really well.
Yes, they are.
Kind of going into a little bit, I'm curious for you in terms of talking about Optimus Prime as a face behind the other Autobots. What are some leadership qualities or character virtues or flaws that he has that we could look up to or have a cautionary tale for, in terms of how is Optimus Prime kind of lift up there as one of the iconic faces behind what makes a hero?
So one of the main qualities of Optimus is that he will never ask his comrades to do anything he will not be willing to do himself. He is willing to sacrifice himself, which he has done numerous times. Throughout this universe. So not only does he lead by example, but he inspires the hope of, even though it might be down, having Optimus coming to the rescue, because he really is the one everyone looks up to, because of, not only because he's the leader, but he inspires the sense of hope. Like, even if we're down and out, if Optimus say we can do it, then we can and we will do it. And so it's an emotional and moral tug that he has, that he's able to do. But as TJ pointed out, though, Megatron is on the flip, though. Like, Megatron invokes fear and envy, because that's where Starscream comes in at.
Got some rivals, got some heated rivals.
But even with Megatron and Starscream would never try Megatron for real. Like, he would complain about he should be the leader, but he would never try him, because Megatron is just as powerful as Optimus. And even though Optimus provides the hope and Megatron does the fear, that's how that's the standpoint that they lead from. Is you have one who does fear, another one has hope, and you can see it in how because we watching Gen 1, I can see how they always the Decepticons are always running, because they losing. They always running back.
They're just always running. Retreat.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and I had to look it up to see. But here's the thing: as a kid, you'd be like, "Well, why are the Decepticons flying and Autobots can't fly? If they all Cybertronian and they're robots."
So true. Because
I was like, that don't make any sense.
It's a thing that's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That is so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
The flying versus on the road being landlocked, and then those, but yeah,
they even do it in Transformers 1.
They do,
right?
They do.
Then no one mentions it, but it's there. And Sentinel Prime, guess what? He can fly. The clues are there if you know to look.
Mm-hmm.
But in War for Cybertron, one of my favorite Transformers experiences is Transformers: The War for Cybertron. It's like a video game, third-person shooter where you can play as Autobots and Decepticons through the story of like the Transformers Civil War.
Nice.
It rocks. I hate playing the Autobot half of that game because you can't fly.
Yeah.
You have like this big, awesome world of Cybertron to fly around, and you can't fly with any of the Autobots. Except I think they did let Ratchet become like a rescue helicopter in that game.
Huh. But it was funny that even Megatron, who wasn't a F1 fighter, I think it was what there was, a Monoraptor, could fly. And I'm like, he's a gun. Like, how is he going to fly?
I know.
And Optimus can't fly. I'm like, this is horrible.
I know.
Yeah, it's messed up. It's messed up. But
we're circling back around, like Optimus Prime, like talking about him being the player coach. Like, he's the coach in the locker room who's going to talk up your team and inspire you with that voice. And, he's going to get you all fired up and ready to go. But as Keno said, he'll go in the game too. Like, he's not just a locker room coach, yell at you, go out there and play hard. I'm going to stand back here on the sidelines. He's in the game playing and usually putting himself on the front line. So I think that's when we look up to him. And I think the other Autobots look up to him and take that lead from him. Literally take the lead. Take the lead from him. And so if you look at the Autobots, again, would you rather fly or drive fast? I kind of would like to fly. He was so impactful that when he was killed off in the movie, the TV show didn't feel right. Like even though, what was it?
Rodimus Prime.
Rodimus Prime. Like you wanted to love him.
Yeah,
you did, but it's like he's not Optimus. He's not Optimus.
He's cool.
It was like, like you loved him, but it was like, this ain't it.
But there's a question on here where we're talking about, like, how is the story different without them in the story? And I think, turn the faces behind us. What would we be like without people that influence us in our story? But how might the Autobot story be different without Optimus Prime? It'd be completely different.
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you exactly how it'd be different. There wouldn't be any problems because Bumblebee would solve them all. If Optimus wasn't there to be like, calm down, B, there wouldn't be any Decepticons.
You have to have a balance, okay?
You do have to have a balance.
They have to have a balance. You can't go to the extreme. Even doing good things on the extreme is not good for the body, even in of itself. So there has to be a balance. That's why Optimus is there to at least in this. I know we want to get him, but we can't do it right now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's so humane too. But he's the perfect example of what a leader should be. He's not. You can't lead from the back.
Agreed.
Optimus is going to go out there and show you how it's done and expect you to be like him. And when you fail, that's going to be okay with him because he knows you can do better. He's perfect.
Hey guys, Christian here. Have you ever wondered how you can support Systematic Geekology? Well, we've made it a lot easier for you by going to Fourth Wall. Instead of what we've done in the past, Fourth Wall makes everything very easy for everyone involved. Everything is in the same spot. So if you want to find a way to become a member and get access to our exclusive memberships and all the giveaways that we're going to be doing, Fourth Wall is the way to go. As well, if you want to see all the extra episodes and content that we only put to our members, that's the best way to go. Feel free to rate and review us there. You can also leave a donation or tip if that's something you're interested in. And as well, you can help support our All Reading Counts initiative that we do. All the donations that go to that go to our libraries. you're also, if you really want to, it's like, man, I really want to hear more episodes about Christian for some reason, or even for reasons I don't understand, you want to hear Joshua more often. We have episodes listed by host, and you can see everyone there. If you have a favorite host, head that way and support the episodes that they're on. You also find a link to our YouTube page, and we may be adding some special content beyond what we've promised. Everything that was once in multiple different locations and you didn't know where to go, well, it's all in that one convenient place. If you want to know exactly where to go, the link to this will be in the description below.
He's perfect.
Megatron. All right, talk about him in terms of leadership. We talked about the quote I had for Optimus Prime was, freedom is the right of all sentient beings. And then Megatron, his famous quote, you pull it up and it's like peace through tyranny. Boy, if that's not, relevant in today's age and world politics and people trying to push their weight around. But in terms of Megatron, what is it about him where he's a leader that's opposite or maybe similar to Optimus Prime? Is there a cautionary tale here? Is there a way to talk about his leadership that is a nugget that we could emulate? Or would it be like, hey, we need to be pretty clear on this in terms of who you're choosing, Autobots or Decepticons? I mean, it's in the name, Decepticons.
Yeah.
But Keno, what do you think? What about Megatron? What is it about this guy?
So Megatron is I feel sad for him, coming from the pastoral care.
I hear you.
Where's the anger coming from? Like, why do you have to be so forceful and cruel? Well, it depends on which one you're talking about, because the Gen 1, he wasn't that cruel. However, when he encountered Kron, was he Unicron in the movies?
Yeah.
That made him into Galvatron? I hated that. I hated that. Oh my gosh. I hated that transition. I was like, this does not make sense either. But anyway, going back to Megatron's attributes as leader, that fear, but he had plans. He always had a plan. He always had some type of answers to vex the Autobots. But it was never enough, because one, Starscream was always second guessing and trying to vie for his seat. And then when he had the opportunity to lead, he sucked, because no one really listened to him. And he created his own. What was those bots that he created? He created his own bots. I can't remember. They formed into their own big giant thing. I can't remember. It was bad. But Megatron and Optimus are the balance that was needed in this series. Because and neither one, no one will fight. Well, everybody tried to fight Optimus, but Megatron was like, no, he is mine, and you are not going to stand in my way of getting to this guy who has been at the bane of my existence since day one. If you include the movie T1, then that's different. Because I'm like, that was the other thing. I'm like, they friends? I don't know if I can.
I don't know. I think it works really
friends.
well.
I mean, the storyline works, yes, but it was a lot of because me as a child growing up, you hated the Decepticons because they were all, but you rooted for them because you had a boombox, you had flying jets, you had a huge gun, like those were cool. But because your hero was the Autobots, you're like, I can't get down with them. And then here comes this movie, the retelling of the origin. They being friends. I'm like, oh, so they friends now. Okay. I don't know. I mean, again, it works, but it's just an adjustment for someone like me who just grew up watching cartoons and knowing what the history is. Like, okay, so y'all, this is where we're going. Okay.
Does that make you more sad or kind of grieve that their broken relationship, or do you see a time when they could reconcile and become brothers again, friends again? In terms of coming back around.
They could. But Megatron needs a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
He does.
He
really
has anger issues, and he's very envious of Optimus. Like I don't understand because you're a gun, and like your gun can shoot everybody, and you could become a cannon too. That was interesting. Like you could become a gun, a handgun, and you could become a cannon. I'm like, dude, like you the best thing that's out there. But his envy of the camaraderie, because I think that's the other thing that Megatron hated, was the camaraderie that the Autobots had to fight for each other and not against each other. I think that was the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it works for me. T1, I think, exemplifies how Megatron and Optimus are similar, because if the things we said about Optimus, Megatron's doing a lot of the same things. When they're going out there, Megatron's out front.
Mm-hmm.
Megatron's out front. He's getting active. He's in the business for very different reasons. But they have the same style because they are similar, because they are two sides of that same coin.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Megatron has to be out there to prove that he's still the strongest Decepticon.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not out there, then you get Starscream trying to cook his plans up. You'll get all of them. Every Decepticon will try to take their shot at power at some point, except for like Soundwave. Soundwave's pretty chill until Starscream gets to him.
Well, that's interesting because like they're on Earth for
it's Shockwave. It's Shockwave was loyal.
Yeah,
That's what Soundwave was. It was Shockwave. Very loyal. Shockwave. I'm sorry.
But no, like in the Earth, they're on Earth for a specific reason in terms of crashing here and being here, laying dormant and come up. But there's also a limited resource, right? With their planet, with what fuels them. So there's this quest, Energon. Like there's not only how do you pull together as a team and survive together as a community and build up one another, but there's this quest for power, but also a limited resource, which I think, here we are, in our world, and that limited resource of whatever, oil, money, food, othering the other person, those kinds of things that we do in our world to kind of get in our own teams and, try to take over or lord over, or as use tyranny, or as Keno said, fear, instill fear, so that you can have that limited resource. There's two different ways of going after a limited resource. And I always loved it how Optimus Prime, even though he's huge, he always looks down. He can look at humans as like insects, just in his way, but he sees them as a sentient being that has inherent value and dignity, and he's going to respect that. And so he protects that. And the Autobots follow suit and see that as well. Whereas Megatron is hunting down the, a limited resource, wants to take over, and tyranny and peace through control, all that stuff. I think is all those like political factions, ideologies within these fandoms. I think it was fun. They're toys, they're robots. Man, it's easy to geek out on this stuff, but then the subtext and the story, I think the lore is there, and we're talking about the faces behind us, or what we're going to model, or what characteristics we're going to take on ourselves. Like either one of you, like, is there either between the two of these, is there something that you don't want to be, or something you want to take on for yourself that is a model for you as you go through your life and leadership?
Yeah, I don't want to be so lost that I feel like I have to prove myself to my team like Megatron constantly. I don't want to be afraid
to prove yourself
that if I'm not, consistently being the best, that people are going to try and replace me. There's not a single thing about Optimus that I would not like to be. If I woke up and I was like 20 feet tall, that'd probably suck, but it'd be pretty sweet. If I could turn it into a truck,
talking about height,
pretty cool. But really, I don't think there is a better role model than Optimus Prime.
I just put this together. He's a truck. And what do trucks do? They carry things. They pull their weight. Here is Optimus Prime as a truck who helps carry the virtue and but also carry things, pull things. What do trucks do? They carry and pull. That's so good. Cool.
That's good.
I didn't put that together till now.
Axe. Energy.
He does.
It's pretty awesome. The axe. That is awesome.
The fire axe. So cool.
That was
so
man.
Cool.
Keno, what are you going to take away from these two? Either cautionary tale that you don't want to be, or take on in your leadership.
So the cautionary tale, adding to what TJ said, is looking at Megatron and realizing this is the true example of what happens when pain goes unhealed and power goes unchecked. Remember now Megatron really was trying to do justice. He was just seeking justice, but it slowly turned into domination. And he's trying to rule over everything, but ends up ruling over ruins, which also impacted his own soul, which speaks a lot about trying to prove your worth by your actions, when if you just stand in your own sentient being, I would say humanity, but he's not human, as who he is, he wouldn't have no issues. But because he has so much pain and not, he's also fearful that they could rise up against him. Like there is that fear that they could at some point come again. That's why he always was going after Starscream, just to show everybody else, don't try me. Like literally, right. Even though like Starscream was trying to be, Megatron had to prove, like, listen, I don't do that, because every time he tried, he just, oh gosh, he was just so horrible. But yeah. So, but with Optimus, again, just piggybacking on what TJ was saying, like he is the role model for leadership, and what you would want anyone to be willing to do is to stand alongside of you in a battle, not behind you telling you what to do, but on side of you. And if you were to fail, he's not making you feel bad you fail. He's saying, get up because I know you can do better. And so even when the battle is lost, you still hold your dignity and you held on to your values. So it never cost him who he was. So yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's really good. And what a hard way to live, that you're always scared that someone's going to take you out so they can take your position. Yeah. I think there's a lot of, in our own political world, a lot of fear that if they don't do certain things, that they're going to be taken out, someone's going to replace them, rather than serving the other, being beside the other, listening to the other, and common life together. I think what a hard way to be. I like that too. And I like this idea of Optimus Prime leading by example. I hope that I wouldn't ask my parishioners or my staff to do anything that I wouldn't be willing to do myself. So I'll take that to heart too. And both of us have all three of us have people behind us that showed us how to be leaders and mentor their faces behind us. And there are also some cautionary tales too. There may be out there like, nope, I'm not going to be that. I can definitely think of some people out there. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be that way in my leadership. Don't want to do that. And I'm going to go a different route. So super fun. I think these two, along with all the Autobots, their lore, the Decepticons, all go hand in hand. I think it's a great IP to look at, kind of the faces behind why they do what they do and how they lead the way they lead. And we can take some lessons from that. Super good. I appreciate it.
Also, we got a shout out before you start to wrap up. Optimus Prime has a Kids' Choice Award.
Wait,
like
what?
The character Optimus Prime won the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Award.
When was this?
Like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
They
3 years ago.
Like not like in the 90s. 2023, Optimus Prime won a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award.
Wait, which one? Which Optimus?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. But
Optimus, probably the Michael Bay Optimus.
Okay, but still, I did not know that.
That's good. That's good.
It was a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Are you serious?
That's good. See, there you
Optimus
go.
Prime Lifetime Achievement.
You learned it here first, folks. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been around. It's one of these IPs that's been around a long time.
Yes.
And who do you want kids to look up to? Kids' Choice Award as a lifetime. Like, who do you want to emulate? I'm glad Megatron didn't win it. Optimus Prime you should do it. I love that. Well, let's wrap this thing up, folks. Let me share. Our extra question is going to be, if your three hosts here could transform into any vehicle, what would it be? So I can't wait to hear what Keno's going to transform into, or TJ. I got my idea in my head, but you're going to have to hop over and become a member. And subscribe and hop on Fourth Wall, do those, and you'll be able to hear the bonus content and how we're going to answer that. If you really want to know what Keno is dreaming about as he falls asleep watching cartoons to Transformers, he's dreaming of him transforming into something. So recommendations. What we guys recommend? Something from this IP or others?
So listen, I would recommend, if you have, rewatch Transformers the movie. That is the name of the movie in the movie, because
1986.
That is
not talking about 2007. We're talking about animated 86 movie.
Yes,
yep,
and
I agree.
It's just, if you have not watched it, watch it. If you have, go rewatch it, because it's still a good movie, even after almost 30 years. 40 years. I take that back. Almost 40 years. Oh, Jesus.
40. Here we are. 2026.
Yeah, it's turning 40.
40.
Wow. Yeah, so that would be my suggestion.
Love it. TJ, you got a recommendation?
I'm gonna recommend any Transformers folks who are still listening. If you're not a big Transformers person, you gotta watch Transformers 1. The 2023 animated Transformers 1. It's a really good movie. It'll get you in the door.
It is. It would.
You can form your own opinion. I think it's phenomenal.
It's got Thor and Scarlett Johansson, am I right?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson plays Alita 1.
Yes.
We didn't talk about her much, but
Right.
she's like Optimus's love interest sometimes, compatriot, left-wing girl. She's cool. She's not artsy, but she's cool.
She's not just a Smurfette, like the only female Smurf and all of the things. But yeah, it's similar. Those 80s cartoons had a theme. We got to throw a girl in there.
She's one of them.
But she's emerged as a good one.
2 or 3. She's one of them.
Yep. My recommendation is to go out there. If you like comic books, like graphic novels, grab the first volume of Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson, Mike Spicer on colors. Volume 1, Robots in Disguise, part of this Intergon universe that Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fame pulled together. The G.I. Joe and the Transformers into one singular universe. Void Rivals is another kind of offbeat, kind of off the beaten path sci-fi story that brings the two worlds together. It's a cool integrated universe that he pulled together over there on Image Comics. So yeah, I'm a huge Daniel Warren Johnson fan, and to see his work on the page, pretty dynamic art and a cool storyline that they can pull together. So check those out. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate you all listening, watching, hanging with us, geeking out with us. If you have ideas, if you have thoughts, things we missed, you're like, oh, you didn't bring up this, chime in the contest. Let us know. All right, geekologists, it's time to roll out.
Hello there, listener. This is Evan Garcia, and I just wanted to jump in here to remind you and to let you know of our Facebook groups and our Discord server. These are great communities where you can post and share memes and talk with the hosts, and we have votes and some polls for future episode topics and fun interactions with our host. So just wanted to remind you that we are focused on community with you listeners, and we love each and every one of you guys listening. Thank you, guys.
Hello, friends. This is Andy Walsh. Thanks for listening. If you're going to be a systematic geek about this podcast, you need to know that it's part of the Anado Podcast Network. Other shows in the network include the Whole Church Podcast, where Joshua Knoll and TJ Blackwell have spent over 7 years now in pursuit of church unity through education and conversations with leaders across traditions. 7 years, that's a podcast that has lost some baby teeth. My Seminary Life with Brandon Knight, where he began discussing what he learned as a seminary student and is now learning with the listeners in a continuing lifelong education. The Bible After Hours with the Foul-Mouthed Preacher, where he critically examines the modern church through satire, then provides a more progressive reading of Scripture. And The Homily with Pastor Chill Will from Chapel Hill, where Will Rose's homilies are periodically updated and made available through the podcast. always reminding us that we are loved with a love deeper than words. Thanks again for listening, and remember, if you're going to geek, do it systematically.